Hey everybody, Jamie here from Bujan Goaltending, and today we're doing a quick glimpse breakdown with Ethan Cook. Ethan's a 2001 birth year, and he plays for the St. Catharines Falcons in the Greater Ontario Junior Hockey League, which is the top junior B league in Canada. Ethan's going to be making a step to Junior A next year, so there's a lot of things we really need to work on for him to be able to dominate the next level. The first thing I noticed with Ethan is he's a little bit of a heavy skater. So this doesn't mean he's a poor skater, but it definitely means there's a lot of room for improvement in terms of being able for him to be more efficient on his edges and quicker on the ice. The good news is that working on dynamic skating is really helpful in terms of getting goalies who aren't great skaters or heavy on their edges to really clean up their skating. And if you want to know more about dynamic edges, you check out our material on Bujan Instagram or Bujan Goaltending YouTube for more. And we talk about a lot more in depth. Ethan is able to make up for kind of his heavy feet with his work ethic. He works incredibly hard to stop pucks. He fights through screens. He fights through every play. He battles very hard. And that kind of makes up for sometimes where he might be a little bit slow on the play. So we have a goal breakdown right away. I'm going to play it full speed, then slow motion, and then we'll break it down. So there's three big things that stick out for me when I watch this goal. The first one is Ethan's depth. I don't think he thinks that his defenseman is going to get beat by palms forward. It is a bouncing puck, but it's hockey and things happen. So if you look at Ethan's depth as that player kind of breaks away from the D-man, he's in the middle of his crease. Now, in a situation like this, partial breakaway, at the very deepest you should start is the top of the crease. You can start farther if you want. That's personal preference. But you need to give yourself some room to be able to retreat with the puck, as well as when you're a little bit farther out, you present bigger to the shooter, and it forces them to want to deke. And we always want players to deke when it comes to partial breakaways or breakaways because the margin for error is higher than just a straight shot. So as that player comes closer, Ethan tries to adjust by taking a quick step out and then backing up quickly, and this throws his balance off, which means everything's going to be kind of messed up on the play because when your balance is off, it's very hard for you to make saves, obviously. And so as the guy comes closer, Ethan retreats too quickly, is off balance, and look where he ends up as that player is just below the hash mark. Ethan's deep in his net. He's exposing a lot of that net. The second mistake Ethan makes is a bad read of the stick blade. Now this player is a lefty. He has a little bit of a pass option, but I honestly don't think that F1 even knows he has a pass option. So as that player comes in as a lefty, look at his stick blade. Not once does he kind of cup that stick and make it look like he's going to either pass or cup it and go to his backhand and drive to the glove side. The whole time that blade is exposed up, 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 meaning he's going to basically flick the puck up in the air. As a lefty, he's going to flick it to the short side. It's much easier than if he was then shooting it to the far side. And so Ethan needs to be able to make that read and look where that puck is. That puck has never crossed even the midline of the ice. There's no reason to slide because that guy has no intention of driving wide. His only intention is to flick that puck short side high. Now, the third and final mistake is Ethan's blocker position. Look where Ethan's blocker is facing. It's facing in the air. The face of the blocker is facing in the air. And the face of the blocker, or the square part, is the biggest part, as we know, and has the most surface area. Because it has the most surface area, it has a better probability of making saves because it's bigger. So what Ethan needs to do is he needs to smother with that blocker. So what we mean by smother is we take the face of the blocker and we push it over the puck angle so that you take away the angle and you're presenting the largest surface area, so your chances of making the save are significantly higher. Now, as that guy comes forward, Ethan makes a bad read. He slides to the middle, and his last effort to make that save is him punching his blocker basically in line with the goal line. And now, because he didn't smother and he punched the blocker to the side, he's giving up all that blocker side because right now, what part is facing the puck? His thumb area. and relative to the face of the blocker, the thumb is incredibly small, and it gives up that short side. There's a couple things wrong with that goal. They all compounded together, and they made an easy save kind of look like a nice goal, but it's a learning point, and we can all learn from that. Now, the second thing that I really want to hammer home with Ethan is snapping his chest when he slides. Now, what we mean by snap the chest is a lot of times goalies, their heads will follow the puck, but their chest and shoulder are late. And because their chest and shoulder are late or delayed when they move, they don't end up square on their initial movement, and they have to readjust, and this takes time. If you want more information on snapping the chest, look at Derek's breakdown of Keegan Jackson. He talks about it in depth and does a really good job explaining it. So we can see in this situation that when this player attacks the middle and he's going to pass from high to this low guy, the low guy blows it up. So fortunately, there's no shot. But we'll watch Ethan's chest during this play. Now, Ethan has to fight through a screen, and that adds a bit of delay. That's just part of the game. Sometimes you got to fight, sometimes there's delays. You can't always be perfect. But what I'm concerned about is once Ethan does make that slide, look where his chest is facing. That logo's facing straight up the middle, where that puck would have come from this angle. That means Ethan needs to, when he slides, is to snap that chest so that chest is facing where the puck's coming from. That makes you square, and that will make him be able to eliminate that short side, where if that pass is made, that shot is taken, it gives him a better chance of stopping the puck rather than him exposing the short side because he's not square and he's not facing the puck. There's another example of this a few sequences up. Here's another example of Ethan not snapping the chest. Now 17 here is a shot threat, and he's going to end up having a layered screen, so you have to be able to respect that shot. But what we're talking about right now is really snapping that chest, and even if there's a screen or you're a little bit late, it doesn't change the basic fundamentals of your slide. You need to be able to snap that chest. Now that pass is made, Ethan's head tracks it, which is good. He makes a good track, he fights these screens, but just look where that logo's facing. Again, the logo's facing up ice. That logo and that chest need to snap quicker and go towards the puck to eliminate that short side and allow Ethan to be squared and give him the best opportunity to stop the puck. Now, there wasn't a whole lot of shots against in this game, but I do think the teaching points we had here are real good ones for goalies watching and for Ethan to learn from, and definitely for him to make that step to junior. For goalies out there that want to do a quick glimpse breakdown, they are free. So email your videos to onicegoalie@gmail.com. Please don't send us highlight reels. What we need is game footage with at least one goal against, and we'll be able to break that down. Just if you send us highlight reels of just your backdoor saves, there's nothing we can do about it because there's no teaching points. So thanks again for watching. That's all I have. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and check us out at Bujan Goaltending on Instagram. Hey everybody, welcome to our quick glimpse discussion. We're changing up a little bit. Usually it's just Derek and I talking about what we saw and the teaching points and learning points from each video, but we decided it would be better to involve the goalie that's actually in the video. That way they get a little more one-on-one coaching. We can hear from them, talk about what they thought and what they felt, as they were making the saves, and we just thought it'd be a better experience and better viewing for everyone overall. So we're joined by Ethan Cook. Ethan, thanks for joining us.
I appreciate you guys taking the time to go through this with me.
Absolutely. So Derek, you just watched it. You watched my breakdown. What'd you think?
Mm-hmm. I thought you were pretty on point with the feet. I agree that Ethan is a goalie that has heavy feet, but I don't think he's a weak skater. He's kind of nodding his head like he might agree with us on that. And I think you're dead on about dynamic skating. I think dynamic skating is definitely going to help him improve that aspect of his game. I noticed that and this kind of went back to like even on your goal breakdown and other parts of your quick glimpse too, is he's a guy who looks like he's more comfortable playing deeper. And I know you went into kind of a little bit more detail on the goal breakdown, but seeing that just 3 or 4 minutes, I would say, is that something that you've been focusing on in terms of your strategy when you play games, Ethan?
Yeah, when I play deeper, I feel like I have, since you mentioned, I have a little bit heavier of feet. When I play a little deeper, it gives me a better chance to get to the pass, beating passes on my feet. And it gives me that split second to track the puck a little bit farther in.
So one thing I did notice was that you were a very good puck tracker, and you did Jamie mentions this in the video that your work ethic is high. I like to maybe not call it work ethic. I'll call it compete level, because that's what professional goalie coaches call it, Jamie. But your compete level was very high, and you did a good job of battling through traffic to find pucks. Jamie did bring up a good point about snapping the chest, so I'll let him kind of talk to you about that.
Yeah, so when you watch the breakdown, you'll get a little bit more understanding. But what we mean by snap the chest is traditionally what we're taught is, the head follows the puck and then you move with the head. But even if my head is moving and the puck's say going for me, my blocker side, look where my chest is facing. It's still up ice. So if I was to arrive at the same time as the puck was getting received by the shooter, my head might be there, but my shoulders and then my stomach and my hips, they're not facing the puck. So we say by snap the chest, it's literally snap the chest. And now my chest is going to lead me in the direction I'm going, so that when you get there, hopefully on your feet, but in your situations in the breakdown, you were on your knees, you arrive square, and you don't have to have that second or third movement that you see some goalies have when they push, turn, snap, square, and then they're in position. It just takes too long. Whereas if you snap, push, set, everything happens much quicker. You arrive faster, and you appear bigger because you are bigger and more positionally square.
Okay.
Do you have anything to add to that, Derek?
Yeah, it's just I call it presenting. So when you get to the puck and you present on angle, square, and have good depth, you're going to maximize your net coverage, right? That's kind of the goal of positioning. You're positioning, the ultimate goal of positioning is just to fill net, right? And then once they shoot, you have to react. So what Jamie's talking about is the quicker you're set the quicker you're square, the quicker you're filling more net or maximizing your net coverage.
Okay.
How about you? Well, talk us through the goal. What was going through your mind? Like, what was your read on that goal?
So it was like kind of a broken play in the neutral zone. So I came out and it got chipped behind our D-man, and the guy was coming in behind him, I believe. And he picked it up. He was a lefty. So he was coming in with his hands kind of stretched out. So the way I was thinking, he's going to either drag, shoot, high glove, or drag backhand around me. So I got caught cheating glove side, and I was a little too deep, like you guys mentioned. So, and I think my blocker wasn't presenting either when he was coming in.
That's exactly it. Those were the three things in the breakdown. Is just your depth. You were kind of caught flat-footed because you didn't think it was going to beat wide. So you started deep. Then you tried to make up for how deep you started, which then kind of threw your balance off. So already your balance off, it's more awkward to make a save. And then you get caught deep in the net. And we always want to we don't want to be as aggressive as possible, but we want to be as aggressive as we are comfortable. And we want to force the shooter to deke, because they can mess up the puck. There's way more margin for error. And then he talked about his stick. I thought that just the read wasn't the way. You just wasn't a good read. I mean, you're an older guy. You're playing at a higher level. Like, reading the stick should be, obviously, it's not a conscious thing. It's more subconscious. But you should be able to recognize that his stick blade is facing up. Like, he is flicking that puck up as high as he can, and he's going on the short side. And then because you were deep, you felt you had to push the glove. And then, exactly what you said about the blocker, instead of your blocker coming over the puck and having the face of it, the biggest part towards the puck, it was to the side, and you reach to the side and expose the whole blocker side.
Yeah.
See, if I could be devil's advocate, I was not – I didn't hate his depth on that. to me, the breakdown was the lateral patience. He got ahead of the guy, and like you said, he cheated. But like there's more than one mistake, and when you compound mistakes, take one, add one, add one, add one. That's when the goals happen. So there's usually more than one mistake on a goal, and if there's only one or two mistakes in a play, you can get away with that. But it's when you compound 3 or 4 mistakes in one play that the puck ends up in the back of the net. So I think Jamie nailed it. I think you definitely have a lot of potential in your game, and I think there's some physical skills and some physical attributes that you can work on, which anything skill based is easy to practice because skill is developed. It's not talent. Skills can definitely be worked on. So that's a part of your game that if you put in the effort and keep developing your skill set, you're going to keep climbing the junior ladder.
Yeah, for sure. Definitely think there's room for improvement in speed and agility. So definitely stuff I can work on off the ice as well.
Absolutely. Well, thanks for joining us, Ethan. I mean, you know what you have to work on this summer. Hopefully you stay safe and healthy and take advantage of the quarantine to get better.
Yeah, appreciate it. Thanks, guys.